You're listening to the Entrepreneur Unleashed podcast, Unleash Your Mind series, episode 60. Today, I'm going to show you how you can create lasting, sustainable wealth in your life and business. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Patty Keating, and I believe entrepreneurs are the future of the world. Over the past 2 decades, I've built 4 businesses in alignment with my values, giving me the freedom to live where I want and do what I love. I'm here to tell you that creating your successful business does not require struggle or sacrifice. So, how do you create the lifestyle business you love doing only what you love? Welcome to the Entrepreneur Unleashed podcast. Hello and happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Entrepreneur Unleashed podcast. I just got back from taking my Maltese puppy Zoe on a walk to the beach. This is our first December on the California beach since we moved from Oregon. And it's really interesting. It's almost Christmas time. It's right around the corner. And here we are in 60-degree weather and sunshine. I'm not used to it, but I think I'm going to be able to adapt. We are going to have a very special topic today. In my experience, what we're going to talk about is the number one way that you can create exactly what you want in your business and sustain it long term. You know, we just recently launched our Visionary Leaders Mastermind, and we've been talking a lot about this in preparation for the upcoming year. And that is setting your vision for the year from a much bigger place than maybe you ever have previously. So going 10 years out and then coming 5 years back and then all the way into 1 year and breaking it down. It's really an awesome way to stay connected to your why and make decisions that are in alignment. And you know, if you've listened to me, I talk a lot about alignment and doing what you love and staying in joy and flow and peace. And our members said it was one of the best exercises yet. And it's really starting to feel like 2019 is here, although we still do have the rest of this month, but now is the time to be visioning. So our upcoming visioning podcast will be happening later this week. I'm going to take you through that same process of streamlining your planning for a breakthrough year. One of the things we did is a powerful process that I took them through, and I'll be taking you through that in this future episode as well. So if you're not already subscribed to the Entrepreneur Unleashed podcast, you might want to do that. Head on over to pattykeating.com and click on podcast where you can subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the episodes. So for us to vision our next year and get really clear about the next 12 months, it takes us allowing ourselves to get quiet, to ask ourselves important questions that keep us aligned with our real purpose here on earth. So stay tuned because we're going to show you exactly how you can do that for yourself. And I'm also going to cover how to set yourself up for a breakthrough year in this next upcoming show. And, you know, we often think that we have to hustle and push our way to success. No, that's not true. It's an outdated belief system. Working hard is not the answer to success. It actually slows you down. But what you might not have considered is that if you're first of all, you are constantly creating from the inside out. Everything you have right now around you, look around the room you're in, or if you're outside, look around at anything other than nature that's been created. That's a reflection of somebody's thought. What you have in your life is a reflection of your previous thoughts and feelings, and that's what leads you to the actions that you take. So imagine if you could keep yourself in a really high vibration of joy and happiness and create from there, things would look a little bit different for most of us. So that's what we're going to cover so that you can start that process of setting yourself up for an amazing year in 2019 by getting yourself in alignment with your truth, your joy, and your values. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the power of being an observer. And in reality, we don't have to do more. We get to be more. So we'll talk about that, and I'll give you some things that will help. But for now, we're going to go on to today's episode, which is all about wealth. How to create wealth that is sustainable, how to create wealth from the inside out. You know, the Latin root word that the word wealth came from is the word wheel. The definition of wheel is well-being. So when we talk about wealth in this podcast, and hopefully the way you'll see it from now on, or maybe you already do, continue to see it, is that true wealth comes from well-being. So we're going to go through that and a couple of other tips. Before I do, I want to be sure that I give a shout out and say thank you to Deborah Tutenauer for her amazing review on the podcast. She said, "I love it when I can devote under 30 minutes to my own growth as an entrepreneur and come away with tangible action items and insights. Patty gave both of these in podcast 2. I won't spoil your fun of listening with too many details, but be prepared as you listen to understand, possibly for the first time, that your magic is in the thing you do that comes easiest for you." Patty explains what this means and in a marvelous manner. Thank you, Deborah. I love your magic. I love that you are so aware and taking it to heart and then going out and being it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am grateful for all the feedback and reviews that you guys have been sharing with us. And we want to get more of that positive energy in our life every single day. And this is a great way to do so by acknowledging the people who are sharing joy and gratitude in the world. All right, so let's talk about wealth. When we understand the definition of wealth as well-being, and we begin to seek well-being, we shift our perspective around wealth. Because our reality is created from the questions we ask ourselves. When we ask a question, we instruct our unconscious mind to seek out the answer. And it gets busy finding evidence of the answer to our question. It's important for us to ask great questions, questions that allow us to feel good, to be well. Our society is so busy asking questions about what's wrong. And so we set ourselves up to go on a journey every single day to discover what's wrong. That's not well-being. That's not wealth. That's survival. It's a shift. Ask a better question and you'll create a better reality. What questions can we ask that will contribute to our own well-being? If you thought about wealth as you shining in the world, how might you approach your business differently than you are approaching it now? What if the key to everything you want in your success is for you to feel good, to be happy, to shine, to go out and simply be you? Be real. Stand out in the market as you are, not as you've learned to be, not as you were instructed to be in the last program that you bought, not following a formula or someone else's strategy, but you expressing your truth in the world from a place of joy and happiness and love and sharing and connection. That's wealth. It's a different perspective. A lot of times when I work with clients, at first there's resistance. Anytime we have resistance, by the way, it's simply a stalling tactic between what we want and our fear around really going after it. When we have these desires, the solution's already out there calling us. And then we put these blocks up. Oh, no. Who do I think I am to do that? Or what might happen if I'm that happy? I better not be that successful. All the garbage that's been layered on us since we were young children and sent off to school and learned to stand in a line and raise our hand. Expressing yourself is one way to get to true wealth. The second thing I want to talk about with you guys is critical to your awareness, because when we can become more aware of who we are, when we raise our awareness and become observers of ourselves, and we observe the way we respond and react to different situations, we own our power. So in order to become an observer of yourself and be more aware of yourself, the first step is to understand what makes you happy, what brings you joy, and what does the exact opposite. What creates a feeling of scarcity, of feeling trapped, of being stuck. Anytime one or more of your top 5 core values are being honored, you are going to feel joy. So guess what? That's your job. Honor your values. So the second piece I want to give to you is you must know what those are. I just feel so happy all of a sudden. Or, something happens and all of a sudden you're pissed off. And you're wondering why. It's because your unconscious mind is responding, or better said, reacting when we aren't in control of it, to a feeling that we had. And that feeling came from a thought that was created because of our values. So it's kind of important to know them, don't you think? When I do these sessions with my mastermind clients, it's always really eye-opening to see what their values are. We create their value platform, which is the platform that we build their business on. If you're going to claim a stake and dig a foundation and build a big, thriving business, it's kind of important that you build that platform on something that's sustainable, that when your empire has been created, you love it because it's in alignment with you and your value system. But when we do these sessions, it's always really fun because it's eye-opening to understand that this isn't just about business. Any decision you want to make in the world, you can make through your values filter. If it honors my core values at an 8 or above, the top 5, that's a hell yeah. If it dishonors my core values, that's a no way, not happening. It makes decision-making so much easier because you're making decisions that are based on your own truth, your own set of standards, your own rules, not the ones society put upon you. So core values, episode 2. You can go back and listen to that, and I'll take you through the process of identifying what yours are. Can it really be that easy that we get to honor our values, feel joy, create wealth, and life just flows? Yes, it can. Which brings me to the third thing I want to talk with you about today, and that is our interpretations. Because as I said, awareness is the first step to understanding how to create wealth, understanding what makes us happy, what lights us up, what brings us joy, what gold we have to share in the market. Because many times I know I'm onto something with a client when they say, well, I can't sell that. That's just, everybody can do that. That's just easy. That's your gold. Do that. But if we interpret our gold as not being enough because it's too easy, we won't let ourselves share our gift. So interpreting is another thing we get to keep an eye on. We get to ask ourselves, what perspective am I bringing to this? And is it true? Is it really a fact? Or is it just a belief I hold? If it's just a belief, you can shift it. You can change your perspective. You can create a new interpretation. And your whole world will shift. Because we let go of the resistance. We let go of the self-judgment. We let go of the belief that we have to struggle. We have to be confused. We have to create chaos and hustle and work 12-hour days in order to create success. Creating success is as simple as honoring who you are and sharing it in the world. You are here to make an impact on other people. That's what we're here to do. What impact are you making? If it feels hard, it's probably not your truth. So I'd like to invite you to set an intention. And the intention is to wake up every morning and ask a great question about your day. What's the best thing that could happen today? Because if our reality is created by the questions we ask, it might be worthwhile to get out a journal and make a list of some of the questions we'd like to ask in order to take ourselves further down the path towards our big vision, which is coming up later this week, a topic on streamlining your planning for a breakthrough year. And a little heads up, as I said earlier, it's about visioning. When we start with our big vision 10 years out, something that scares the bejeebers out of us, we reverse engineer it to this year. We start asking questions about this year's vision and how we can get there, and looking for answers that are in alignment with our values, that are in alignment with our well-being. Guess what happens? We see them. We get what we look for without investing the time to create questions, because our mind's going to come up with questions all day long anyway. And rather than asking questions about what's happening, in Hollywood, maybe we could ask questions about what's happening in our own neck of the woods that's going to get us towards the vision, closer to the vision that we have for ourselves. Invest some time each morning to write out the questions you want to ask today. It's like a treasure hunt. You get to create a little journey for yourself every single day. And then let your unconscious mind look for the answers. And oh, by the way, this works right before you go to sleep as well. I give my unconscious mind a job every single night, because it's going to be up to some stuff while I'm sleeping. I might as well give it a question. Anything that maybe you're looking for an answer and the answer's not coming, and you're asking good questions, but you're just not seeing it. Before you go to sleep, just meditate on that for a little minute and ask your unconscious mind to figure it out. And then if you'll give yourself the time in the morning after you've written out your questions to feel into what answers are right in front of you, it's amazing the synchronicities that happens. It's magic. Living life this way is magic, and I have so much evidence of it. It's how I live. People are like, how did you do that? And I'm like, well, I didn't really do it. I asked the questions and everything just showed up. I call it magic, but I think it's just normal. And I think most of us forgot. We forgot to remember who we are. We're creators. We're creative beings here to express our gifts in the world. That's it. We're here to share and contribute and grow and learn. And we get to do that by creating well-being, which leads into sustainable wealth. So that's it. That's my podcast for the day. Next week, actually this Thursday, I'll be back with my Streamline Your Planning for a Breakthrough Year. We're going to talk about visioning. Next week, I've got a podcast on tuning in to the magic of synchronicity, which I just hinted at a little bit. I'm going to tell you some stories and help you recognize synchronicity. A lot of times we don't even see it, and it's right there like, hello, here we are. We're like, what was that? That's kind of weird. So we'll be talking about that and a lot of other great stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. So if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, head on over to pattykeating.com, click on the podcast, make sure you subscribe, and leave me a comment. Give us a review. Let us know what you think. Ask us questions. There's a place to submit your questions. If you have a topic you'd like me to speak about, ideas for us, we are open. We're here to serve you and help you remember to be real, to take a stand, and to change lives. I'll see you next week. Most entrepreneurs experience chaos, confusion, and overwhelm before they even complete their first year in business. I believe success as an entrepreneur depends on aligning your core values with your market value so you can create real and lasting success, which is why I've created a brand new program titled Align. I want to show you how to tap into your greatest value and share it with confidence, clarity, and ease so you can move into the big vision you have for yourself without struggle. And this program is absolutely free for you. Just go and register now at pattykeating.com/align to join the program now.